If you travel roads that have already been discovered, you're basically always just following. But if you go somewhere where no one's ever been, you're on the lead, and that's one thing that I really like. Lebanon is a special place. It's somehow a little bit exotic because there's still very little known about the climbing here.
Because usually when you hear about Lebanon in the media, you don't think about climbing or nature or activities. You only hear about war. Climbing in Lebanon is fairly new, but it's on the right track. There is so much climbing potential.
And that was definitely one fact that drove me to come here. I just couldn't resist.
We went to climb on the Baatara Gorge. This is the best formation you can see for a picture and for climbing.
When I walked in for the very first time, I almost thought this can't be real. The sinkhole somehow is just a magical place. I mean, you got the waterfall dropping in there almost 100 meters. You got the three beautiful natural arches, the blue and orange rocks, so perfect contrast, and it's just a beautiful place. It's not very common that you get to such a stunning location and there's nobody been there who's ever climbed it. When doing a first ascent, for me, that's a very creative process because you envision a line. Also, the location, of course, plays a huge role. I was just really psyched to come here and to try to put up a new route. To find a climbable line in the sinkhole was actually pretty hard. Well, I really had my doubts.
It's on a place where we thought it was maybe too steep or maybe it doesn't have enough features to have a route.
I was really not sure if there's a line that I could free climb.
Luckily, David found a very nice route.
You got the first knock in your right hand. From that moment on, I just got really psyched. There is a line that is climbable and I want to climb it. When you're standing in front of an unclimbed wall, you're picking the line and you're making the decisions, and you got this full freedom and you can just express yourself by climbing through it. I knew that all the moves are possible to do, but I wasn't sure if I could link them. I felt kind of like, ooh, this might not work out. These moves are damn hard. When I'm starting up the climb, I have to switch from like this really fun time down at the base of the climb to like fully focusing on the climbing itself. So the first half of the climb up to the tufa is not too difficult, and you have kind of a good rest there. And then it's getting really, really steep, and you have just a couple of small holds and really complex climbing. And I think if you'd remove one of those holds, the climb would become completely impossible. I'm trying to make things perfect because of the route requires it. On my final go, I stuck that crux move for the very first time. I had really a hard time even doing that move as a single move. There was definitely some kind of relief, but it wasn't over at that point. I was just fighting really hard for it. Every move, basically, I could fall off. At some point figured out that clipping all the quick draws on the crux section just requires too much time and energy. So I decided to skip the 2 bolts and made a really big run out, and I just knew, okay, I don't want to fall. I was just going for the good holds at the end of the roof. Going to something unknown or doing a first ascent, you never know if it's possible. When you pull over the lip, it's like the first time on the climb that you really realize how much beauty there is around you. I guess when it comes to climbs that are just this hard or that are this close to your limit, climbing is almost more an art than a sport. It's the transition from an idea that you have in your mind to something that actually everyone can see. Like now everyone knows that this line is climbable, and that's beautiful in my opinion.
I basically witnessed all of the hardest route being sent in Lebanon. But this is by far the first time I see a route this steep being sent. Very exciting for sure. It's like being part of history.